As we step into a new year, I want to talk about one resolution that almost every nonprofit leader needs, but very few actually name out loud. I'm going to ask you to please stop personally sacrificing yourself to get the work done. Consider giving yourself permission to lead next year without losing yourself. Today, I'm giving you 3 practical strategies to stick to this resolution so you don't spiral back to living on caffeine, email triage, and pure adrenaline. Typical resolutions sound like, I want to work less, I need boundaries, but those are vague wishes, not commitments. Here's a more powerful reframe. I will no longer sacrifice my peace, health, or joy to keep the mission running. When you say, I will no longer sacrifice my peace, my health, or my joy to keep the mission running, this moves you from survival mode to decisive CEO mode. Welcome to Nonprofit CEO Spark, the podcast for bold leaders ready to navigate growth and change with energy and confidence. I'm Marcia Beckner, nonprofit founder, former executive director, and culture strategist with nearly 20 years in the social impact world. Each week, I help nonprofit leaders stop spinning out, set boundaries, and design inclusive cultures where all staff can thrive. If you're ready to reignite your leadership without sacrificing your well-being, hit subscribe and let's spark your next chapter together. Before I walk you through choosing your mantra, let me tell you a story about why I swear by them. Okay, picture this. It was January 1st, 2020, and I wrote down my New Year's resolution with a simple mantra, and it was create space. At that time, I had very little space. I have twin boys who were in middle school, which meant a crazy schedule of sports, carpools, and teenage logistics. I had a full-time job and was traveling often for work. My life felt like it was sprinting through an airport, juggling 12 carry-ons and no snacks. Create space felt cute or aspirational, actually like a pipe dream. I had no idea how I was going to make that happen. And then, 3 months later, as we all know, the world hit pause. A global pandemic shut down flights. My job went fully remote. My kids' activities vanished overnight. There were no commutes, no sports, no airports. Suddenly, I had more space than I'd had in years. Space to breathe, think, rest, and hear myself again. I thought, wow, that mantra was too powerful. Now I trust your mantra will not summon a global shutdown. Nobody needs that. But that experience taught me something powerful. When you write down what you want, what you really, really want, you start noticing opportunities to live into it. So ask yourself, what do you want more than anything in the new year? Give yourself space to tap in to yourself, to think over the holidays, to identify what you want and or need to become the best version of yourself. Is it quality time with family, a balanced workload, a more fun personal life, a creative outlet, healthy boundaries that hold, inner peace, real confidence, a team that can function without you, and a healthier, happier, more energized life? Whatever rises the top for you, trust it and turn it into a mantra, a very short phrase you can return to again and again. You can take my example like create space. Other mantras may be, my clarity is my power, or I trust my voice. Choose whatever makes your spirit soar if it were to come true. Let this be your New Year's North Star. Strategy number 2, after creating a mantra and identifying what you really, really want in the new year, is to build a system, not a wish list. We all know that wish lists fade by February, right? Systems, though, create real change. So here are 3 CEO and executive director friendly systems for leaders wanting to create something new. Number 1, you can set aside 15 minutes a week for an alignment reset. Place a 15-minute hold on every Friday this year to reflect and ask yourself, what drained me, what energized me, and what can I delegate, delete, or delay next week? It's really shocking how much stress disappears when you pause to reflect and adjust. The next thing is the non-negotiable hour. 1 sacred hour each week on your calendar. No meetings, no email, no just one more quick thing. Use it to think, strategize, breathe, walk, or simply just be. This is an identity shift for busy CEOs used to juggling 15 things at once. And then the third thing is, here's a script for creating a boundary. For my people pleasers out there, I see you. I work with so many of you, and I admire you. But I'd like you to borrow my go-to line. When someone asks you to do something, you can say, let me check my calendar, I'll get back to you. You don't have to say an immediate yes. Or you can say, I don't have the capacity for that right now, but here's what I can offer. But you don't have to take everything on. Boundaries are clarity, not conflict. And speaking of boundaries, there's a classic Seinfeld moment that nails this better than any leadership book could. Do you remember the rental car episode? When Jerry walks up to the counter, he gives his name and the agent tells him, oh, sorry, we don't have your car. And he says, but I made a reservation. And she replies, yes, we have your reservation. We just ran out of cars. And then Jerry drops the line that lives in comedy history. He says, you know how to take the reservation. You just don't know how to hold the reservation. And holding is really the most important part of the reservation. Well, that's an analogy for boundaries as well. Anyone can set a boundary, but few people actually hold the boundary. So when you set a boundary this year, make it, I will stop personally sacrificing myself. I'm done with work at 6. Do it for Jerry Seinfeld. You're not just taking the boundary. You're holding it and following through. Holding it is where your peace, your energy, and your impact can actually transform. And then my third strategy is to recruit an accountability circle. You don't need more willpower. You need connection and support. Choose like 2 or 3 people to form like a peer CEO or executive director group. This was critical for me when I was an executive director. I just always look forward to meeting with my ED peers, and we would vent to each other and share challenges and help each other. You can set up an accountability circle with your board chair who really gets it, someone you trust, or a coach and a mentor. Share your mantra, share your resolution, check in monthly. Now, if your mantra has anything to do with slowing down, centering yourself, finding space, creating peace, I want to share a tool that I love. It's called the Miracle Morning app, created by Hal Elrod. It's built around a simple morning practice called SAVERS. And SAVERS is an acronym for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing or journaling. And here's what I love most. You can complete all 6 of these savers in less than 10 minutes. A few intentional minutes each morning can completely shift your day from reactive to focused, from inbox ruled to intention led. I recommended this app to one of my VIP clients in my signature Culture Cares Accelerator program recently because she was drowning in 60-hour work weeks. She downloaded it immediately, and now she's on a 26-day streak of waking up and doing her miracle morning practice. She was in a habit before to start her very early mornings checking email, and this was not energizing. She told me, for the first time in years, I'm setting the tone for my day, not my email. The Miracle Morning app is a healthy tool that is gamified, so it's also somewhat fun. It's about $40 a year and worth every penny. If you try it, I genuinely love to hear what you think about it. I've personally been using it for years. So here's your spark plug shift for the week. Choose your New Year's mantra carefully and put it somewhere you see every day, on your mirror, your lock screen, your planner. And here is the key. Let this mantra shape your decisions, not just your intentions. And if you want support, grab my free guide. It's called 4 Strategies to Reduce Burnout, Unify Your Team, and Build a Culture That Lasts. It's in the show notes, and it pairs perfectly with this episode. You can find this and the full transcript at culturecares.com/10. Use it as your roadmap to step into the new year grounded, focused, and leading with calm clarity instead of overwhelm. Let's build a movement together where you don't have to personally sacrifice yourself for the mission anymore. You make a decision to lead with healthy intention, energy, and confidence, not exhaustion. And your mission, it grows stronger when you are steady, supported, and grounded. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Nonprofit CEO Spark. If you're ready to turn burnout into boundaries and build a healthy, happy culture where everyone, including you, can thrive, visit culturecares.com to learn how I support nonprofit organizations like yours. If this episode brought you value, share it with a fellow leader navigating stress and overwhelm. And remember, you are meant for great things, and you don't have to burn out to prove it. Until next time, keep leading with courage and confidence.